If you want to build big, strong legs and you're tired of holding this handle in your hands while using your tonal, then I've got you covered. Because in today's episode of Tonal Hacks, I'm going to show you a variation on the Goblet Reverse Lunge that's going to be hands-free using this belt that you're going to love. I'm Coach Jackson, one of the original coaches on this fine piece of equipment. Worked there for 5 years, wrote many of the most popular programs and starred in them, thankfully enough. And I also have coached over 400 private clients using this machine. So I'm going to show you today a variation on the Goblet Reverse Lunge that's hands-free, allow you to build bigger, stronger legs faster than ever, getting this handle out of your hands. So let's first dive into the original version of the exercise the way it's intended. So I'm going to set the belt aside for now. I'm going to grab the handle, and with the Goblet Reverse Lunge, as the name implies, we're using a goblet. We're holding the handle here. So you wrap your hands around the strap, thumbs go on top, turn the weight on, and you move into the exercise. So you might be saying, Jackson, what's the problem? This sounds fantastic. Well, it does, but there's a couple problems that are inherently challenging about any goblet movement. The first is that you're inherently limited by the strength of your arms. So you can only move as much weight as your arms can hold. So I'm limited by the strength of my biceps and my shoulders. And look, I know you're looking at my biceps saying, Jackson, I don't think that's a problem, but it actually is. Because if you look at anyone's legs, their legs are gonna be significantly stronger than their arms. So if you wanna move as much weight as your legs can carry and hold, well, they're gonna be a lot stronger than your arms. It's just a fact. That's the first problem with any goblet movement. You're limited to the strength of your arms, and it's challenging, right? I'm getting an arm workout while I'm trying to get a leg workout in. And if your goal is to build muscle or to really build a significant amount of strength, that's gonna be a limitation. The second problem is that when you're holding this handle and you're trying to turn the weight on and off, it could be a little bit cumbersome. It could be challenging. You're trying to get to the button, the weight's getting really heavy, you're tired and fatigued, you can't think, focus, and you're like, just turn off, please, now before I die. And it could be quite a challenge. If anyone's ever done a heavy set of goblet squat or goblet reverse lunge, you know what I'm talking about. And then the third problem is that just by simply holding the goblet here, you're just getting a little bit more stress, typically on the spine or the back. Maybe you get a little bit hunched over on the exercise. You get pulled forward at the bottom. Now you're rounding your back, you're getting poor posture. So it can be a little bit more difficult and challenging just from a exercise form perspective to perform the exercise as ideally as you would like. Now, there's a simple, easy, and awesome fix to all of these problems. The one challenge is that it's a little bit cumbersome to get in and out of, but outside of that, it's gonna solve many problems. As one of my first financial options trading mentors used to tell me, Jackson, everything in life is a trade-off. There is no perfect solution, there's no perfect trade, there's no perfect exercise. Everything's a trade-off, and he was right. So let's take a look at the hands-free version of the Goblet Reverse Lunge. I'm gonna take this handle, I'm gonna set it aside. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my belt. I'm gonna take this belt. Now there's nothing magical about this belt. You can get any dip or pull-up belt off Amazon. The real key is that you need a carabiner and you need a T-lock. And you also need a loop. As you can see this loop here, you need a loop to hook that belt up here so that it can go right in front, right by your navel, centered alongside your body. So you need a loop that you can make sure that you can center just below your navel. So I'm gonna take this belt and I'm gonna wrap it around. Gotta say, wearing this belt makes me feel kind of like, I don't know, WWF champion, Hulk Hogan or something. I feel like I'm a real American. So I'm gonna tighten this belt up and I'm gonna turn it around. Why am I gonna turn it around? So that cable is right in front. So now the cable is gonna be pulling straight down in front of me. So the great thing is now all of the resistance goes from my hands here and my arms. The limitations are gone, the limitations of my arm, and the resistance is now pulling from the belt. So now the resistance is gonna be here on my hips, which are obviously a lot stronger than my arms, and I'm getting rid of a lot of that resistance. It's also gonna help with my posture because now I'm not gonna get hunched over at the bottom, I'm not getting pulled over, and again, the limitations of my arms are gone, and I don't have to worry about pushing that button on and off because I can push the weight here on and off. So I'm gonna grab the handle here, make sure the weight is off, of course. You don't wanna go try to pick up 50, 60 pounds by just holding the little cable. So now I'm gonna hook it in. Again, make sure the weight is off. And because I'm standing so close to Tonal, I can simply click the weight on and off at the screen, very simply and easily. Again, don't have to worry about squeezing or touching the button, not working my thumb over, don't have to worry about any of that. So I could turn the weight on and get in a position and jump right into the exercise. Make sure that the belt is nice, tight and secure. Give it a little bit of a pull so that it doesn't pull the slack out on you really quickly. And for me and any other guys out there, you just want to make sure that you're going to be safe when you turn the weight on. So what I like to do is I like to give my shorts a little pull up, a little bit of a tug. One, it shows off the wheels, which is kind of nice. But the other thing it's going to do is it's going to keep your shorts from getting caught up here in the carabiner or the T-lock. And it's going to prevent any sort of bad things from happening that my wife would not be thrilled about. So now I'm in a good position here. I'm going to get my feet underneath my hips, as you should in the Goblet Reverse Lunge. I give my shorts a pull up. I'm going to turn the weight on, let it fully load. I've got 50 pounds on here, so nothing crazy, but respectable, given I'm shooting this video. So I turn the weight on, 50 pounds. It goes on, it fully loads. Now I'm gonna move into the Goblet Reverse Lunge. And again, look, hands free. I could put my hands on my hips, hold them out in front, whatever you wanna do. Heck, you could even, if you really need to, you could put one hand on the Tonal if you really need to for balance. But I'm gonna keep my hands out here on the side by my hips, hold my shorts up for a second. I'm able to step back, move right into the Goblet Reverse Lunge, and I'm able to do the movement. You can go athletic arms if you want, kind of nice and fun, feeling like an athlete. You can go hands on the hips if you'd like. You could even pretend you're holding a goblet if you'd like. Whatever you'd like to do, you can do, because your hands are free. And when you finish the movement, you just tap the weight on the screen and you're done. Now you are locked into the Tonal still, so you can't go too far. That might be a good thing, might not be, depending on your preferences. But that's the one annoying thing, is now you're attached into the Tonal and you have this belt around your waist. So if you're doing a metabolic workout, you're trying to move from one exercise to the next very, very quickly, this could be a little bit of a cumbersome challenge for you. It could be annoying because then you might have to wear the belt for the next few exercises. But overall, the net positives from this swapping out, this little bit of hack or switch, is gonna be, I think, game changing for you. I've coached over 400 private clients using this machine, and every single one of them has absolutely loved this little hack, and it's been life-changing for some of them. I'll give a few last little tidbits, points, and tips for you on this exercise. When it comes to the Goblet Reverse Lunge, you wanna make sure that you're balanced. A lot of mistakes I see on this exercise are people that just shift their weight back to their back foot really quickly and drop back all their weight to their back foot. You wanna shift your weight forward onto the opposite foot that's staying planted. So in this example, if I lift my left foot up to go backward, I'm gonna shift my weight to my right foot so I can lift my left foot up. Then I step back. Majority of my weight is still on my front leg. Once my back foot is planted, then I shift a little bit of my weight backwards. But again, majority of the weight is still on that front leg. Then I drop into the split squat, power up into position, and repeat. One last little tip, the longer the step back, the more hamstring and glute on your front leg. The shorter the stride, the more quad you're getting on that front leg. So if you want to go more quad dominant, take a shorter step. If you want more hamstring and glute on that front leg, take a longer step. So that is the Goblet Reverse Lunge, the hack variation using the belt, the hands-free version. If you want more Tonal hacks just like this, check out a few of my other videos in this Tonal hacks series. Remember, I'm Coach Jackson, and action is the difference between dreaming and succeeding.